Hey guys, let's talk about shadow, no shadow stems on regulars. There's belief out there, uh, with some legitimacy or at least some experience that regulars should either be both no shadow, like this one. See, it's just the Pez block letters on both sides, or should be shadowed on both stems, like this one, not the block letters, but a nice shadow and shadow. Now that makes sense. And of the 200 plus regulars that we've got on the shelf over there, most of them, almost all of them, are consistent with that story. Now you got to take out the regular Bs because that's not going to count, and you take out the personalized and the advertising because those are only going to be on one side anyway. So our sample size, we're down to, I don't know, 150 dispensers or so. Now I'm going to post a link below this video to a page about fake regulars. And part of the story in there is that the fake regulars have a mix of shadow and no shadow, with an explanation that that doesn't happen very often, and in fact had not been seen at the time that was written. So this one, and Snow White is mentioned in that article. You see this one has a no shadow on this side and shadow on this side. And there are a number of different dispensers out there that are like this, but I'm using Snow White, by the way, nice dark blue collar, as the example because it's brought up in that article. So there are other ways to identify fake regulars. One of them is, we'll go through it. We've already showed you this one that has no shadow, and this one has double shadow. These four do not. And I'm sure there are some others in my collection, but these are the four I found pretty quickly. This one, on the patent side, just like Snow White, now let's look at that again. Just like Snow White, the shadow on Pez is on the patent side. This one, a neat black regular with the black sleeve and a gold top, the 2.6 Austria has a shadow, just like Snow White. But on the other side, we have no shadow. This green one, same thing. We got 2.6 Austria, we got a shadow, and on this side, we have the no shadow. Now you're going to see something similar here, but let me also show you. There are a couple of different tops to regulars. Let's see, do we have examples here? So this one has the small, I guess these all have the, you see how the thumb tab goes up into a point, whereas this one does kind of the same thing, and this one is more rounded. All right, it's not, can you see the difference? Because this is going to be important in that article. You see the difference in the thumb tabs, how one of them on the left comes up to a higher point and the one on the right does not. What you find in the fake regular article is that the fake ones were more like the one on the left with that higher point. All of them actually were like that. So that indicates that this one at least would not be a fake in that context. This one's a 2.6 Austria, shadow, and on this side, no shadow. Now we also remember the thumb tab is not consistent with the fake. You'll see in the article that the cap and the sides didn't line up. These do line up, and also would have a significant amount of white showing here. There we go. That's not a significant amount, and that there should be a dimple or a dent right here in the middle of that thumb tab. And let me get the light shining on it again. We don't have that. So this, in my mind, at least by that article, is not a fake. And we've got a shadow, no shadow. Lastly, we got another yellow. This one with the plastic cap. So we've got the same thumb tab as the fakes. Let me get the focus here, and let's zoom in for you. No dimple in the mold. All the fakes had a metal pin. This is the plastic pin. And here's the no shadow and the shadow on the patent side. So what I'm saying to you is I've got at least 4 examples here of shadow, no shadow, all of which have the shadow on the patent side, whereas the fakes have the no shadow on the patent side. The caps are different thumb tabs, they're pin and plastic, they're different. So they're not consistent with what we know to be or suspect to be fakes. Point of this is that there are, in my view, shadow / no shadow stems out there legitimate for regulars, although they appear in much lower quantities than either double shadow or double no shadow.